brand new Ronbus Nova just released. Everyone's going to be talking about this one. Ronbus has been killing it and releasing some of the best paddles available. They figured out a brand new, innovative way to thermoform their paddles. We'll get into accurate spin results, power rankings, and so much more. So without further ado, let's dink straight into it. The Ronbus Nova series comes in at a price of $180. You can use code 20OFF, that's 20OFF, to save $20, which drops the price to $160. The R1 Nova released today at midnight, and the R3 we won't be seeing until around the end of September. But I will be reviewing both of these paddles in this video, so you know which one will best suit your game. Ronbus is constantly engineering new ways to fix paddle issues like delamination and core crushing, and the Nova is a prime example of this. The brand new tech Ronbus is implementing here is what they're calling their sort of Gen 3 patent pending edge grid technology. As you can see in this picture the owner of Ronbus sent me, they're essentially weaving the edge foam around the perimeter. In this video Ronbus sent me, they cut open a brand new paddle to show the core. They then took another new paddle and slammed it over and over into a stationary ball over 10,000 times. The paddle slamming into the stationary ball is with much more force than you'd ever hit a normal ball in play. Also, it's in the exact same spot over and over, not all over the face. And then they took this paddle after 10,000 hits and cut it open to show there was no change in the core's integrity, which is incredibly impressive. So basically, with current thermoformed paddles, the heat generated by the thermoforming process causes a bunch of trapped pressure inside of the paddle. That's never fully released. They then add an edge guard around it and ship it out to the customer. All of this pressure and the heat from the thermoforming process is trapped. And then over time, after hitting ball after ball after ball, the core can then crush or become delaminated. Ronbus saw this issue, and by weaving the foam around the perimeter, they allow the edge to cool and the pressure to be released before they add the edge guard, and then they ship it to you. This new design is air permeable and can breathe consistently, so there's no pressure buildup over time. So whether you're playing in hot conditions or cold conditions, you may see a bit more consistency in your shot shapes and power, which is pretty awesome. I can imagine trapped pressure would cause inconsistencies when that trapped pressure becomes cold or hot in comparison to this new design that can actually breathe. I honestly just love new tech. The weight of these paddles are around 7.8 ounces. They have a grip length of 5.5 inches and a grip circumference of 4.125 inches, perfect for two-handed backhands. According to a spec sheet from Ronbus, the swing weight of the R1 comes in at 109 and the swing weight for the R3 comes in at 118. Of course, with all Ronbus paddles, the face of the Nova is raw Toray T700 carbon fiber. The spin for the R1 and the R3 Nova is solid, but not the highest I've seen. Make sure you stick around to see the power rankings, as they're pretty crazy though. The Ronbus R1 Nova came in at 1843 RPM and the R3 Nova came in at 1871 RPM. To quickly compare that to, say, the new Selkirk 006 coming in at 1833 RPM and a price point of $333, and the Yola Perseus at 1796 RPM and a price point of $249, it's solid, but again, not the highest I've ever seen. The power for the R1 and R3 Nova is pretty insane. It must have to do with this new sort of Gen 3 thermoform design, but damn, I was ripping drives and putting away balls with ease. I love a good balanced banger paddle. It's just so fun. I'm personally not a huge fan of the EVA paddles, but when I get a paddle like this in my hands where it actually feels like I can control the soft game and mitigate pop-ups while still ripping some Ferrari forehands and acing serves, it's just a combination for a good time. I tested each of the Novas versus some of the top paddles in my personal rankings for power and pop. Power being when I'm adding my own force to the ball, like a drive or a serve, and pop being when I'm in a hand battle or resetting the ball essentially. The R1 and the R3 Nova felt about equal to me in the power category, and both come in with the current highest score yet of 9.6 out of 10 for power and 8.3 out of 10 for pop. This is why I do decimal rankings and really take the time to analyze paddles in comparison to the competition. I spent days hitting these paddles in comparison to Carbon, the new Forza, the Double Black Diamond, the Bread and Butter Filth, among others, and it just felt like it edged them out just a touch in power. In comparison, I have the brand new Valera Mach 1 Forza coming in at 9.5 for power and 8 for pop, and the Carbon 3X at 9.4 for power and 7.8 for pop. I do rankings like this rather than with a speed gun because there can be a lot of variance hit to hit based on where you hit the ball, on the face, fatigue, among other things. And for me, this is the best way currently I can relay my personal feel of a paddle to you. I think if you're looking for a powerful edge in your pickleball game and want to try out some of the new tech, I would snag this one for sure. I gave the R1 Nova a 9 and the R3 Nova an 8.7 for sweet spot rankings, which is solid, especially compared to paddles like the Selkirk 006 at 7.2 and the Yola Perseus at 6.9. The sweet spot feels great. I'd say it's on par with the Double Black Diamond and some of the other top paddles in the sweet spot category. Off-center dinks don't feel too harsh or punishing, which is always nice because, let's face it, I don't hit the center of the face as much as I'd like to think I do. And as far as the feel and the soft game goes, I gave the R1 Nova an 8.3 and the R3 an 8. Compared to the 006 at 7.3 and the Perseus at 7.4, these are pretty solid numbers. I had a ton of fun dinking, hitting speed ups with the added power, and I do really think the new design is creating some form of consistency. The power and the new tech packed into these paddles makes for a super fun play session. I really think you're going to notice the new tech if you play outdoors a lot, especially in varying temperatures. I think if you're interested in checking out a power paddle from a company that's known for innovation in the space, I would definitely snag one of these bad boys. If you're interested in the top 5 highest spinning paddles I've ever tested, click here. Have a freaking awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video.